You mentioned something earlier that was quite tactical, like don't put links in your first and second email, and
Yeah,
then you may introduce it on your third. You're also talking about not tracking open rates and response rates, or sorry,
yeah,
click rate,
yeah.
um, specifically in the tools. And can you explain to everyone why those
Yeah.
decisions are
So
made in 2025 specifically?
yeah, it is because you want to send a plain and simple email with no HTML code in it because
Mm,
so because of the scamming rates that are going up, which has hidden codes in the text or in the images that you're sending in emails. So that is one of the primary reasons why your email will be flagged as spam if it has a code, even if it is just for tracking. It'll spam because at the end of the day, if how do I how do I track when my email is opened or not? So it is through an image that gets loaded. When someone opens
yeah,
up your email, that image gets loaded and it triggers it triggers to the source that this email has opened. So you don't want any of that HTML going into your email. So that's the reason why you keep it as plain as possible. At least 1 2 emails. After that you can add because you have already established that communication with that server and that ID.
Like using tools such as Beehive, um, or something along. So I just curious to hear your thoughts on this
Yeah,
topic.
got it. Yeah, I mean, if you are using tools like Beehive and newsletter sending tools, the probability of you landing in inbox slightly goes down. And number two, uh, it needs to be a subscribed content. So for example, it a cold email is okay, but if you are using tools like Beehive or HubSpot, for example, your recipient should have subscribed for it. Without it, it violates the policy of the platform. So someone, so that's one thing, one reason why you don't want to use tools like Beehive for outbound emails. And number two, if you're, I strongly recommend that I'll see if I can share the data with you uh, as a proof. But uh, for sure, in your first email, you should avoid links and any attachments or in any images. You want to keep it as simple as possible or as plain as possible. So no HTML, no images, because that's the way scammers do. So by default, you will be considered as a scammer. Yeah.
clear. And do you always find that a multi-channel strategy for reaching
Yeah.
out is necessary?
Yes. I mean, if you're serious about you know at least it'll double or triple. That is how different it would be the result.
Two or three channels? Yeah,
Yeah, 2 or 3
yeah.
channels. Yeah.
So,
Same
so
target.
you're today into okay. In today's world, you're not seeing it just email sequences work, for example.
No, no, no. We do see that, but if you want more
Okay,
aggressive, add more channels. Yeah, rather than adding more emails. Yeah.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So the 2% conversion, 2% reply rate is just from emails. You need to
Yeah.
have an email sequence that should be able to give you at least 2% of return in terms of positive replies.
What are some maybe more techniques on the LinkedIn side of like, I guess, how often to reach out and maybe lessons or pitfalls specifically to
Yeah.
LinkedIn?
I think HeyReach has an amazing template library that you can use, but the limitations from LinkedIn are more from platform side, not from your end. So you can't send too many requests. You have a limit on requests. You have limit on words. So without spending time, a lot of money, I think HeyReach would be a better tool for you because it'll take care of all the limits that you have. So and the follow-up timings all and everything. Yeah, it is more like it's ready to use tool for specifically for LinkedIn, which can bypass some of the limits that LinkedIn as a platform has. So that would be a
Got it.
better approach than sending more follow-ups.
For the new entrepreneurs, right? Like that are learning more about outbound and never having done it before.
Yeah.
They take a look at your framework and they have a better sense of what types of emails they need to write. What should they forecast as the hardest part or hardest problem they're going to run into in running this process?
Coming up with an offer that they cannot say no. Yeah. So the offer is the most difficult part of it. If you
Yeah.
can crack it, that will be awesome. Yeah.
Okay.